Hello friends, welcome to a Lovely Yarn podcast. My name is Amber and today I am filming a special episode. This is not like my regular episode where I feature everything I've been working on. Instead, this is a compilation of patterns that I have put together for the upcoming season of autumn. So this week, funny enough, here in Western Pennsylvania, it has been so hot and humid. It has been in the 90s. Last week, however, we were having very autumnal weather and we were having temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s, which I have to say is quite strange for August in Pennsylvania, but it was a very nice reprieve from the intense heat and drought-like conditions we've had here this summer. So last week, because of that shift in the weather, I began to feel motivated to do some research into some patterns that I thought would be good transitional pieces as we move from summer into fall. And so this episode is all about that. And so thank you for joining me. I hope you find something that inspires you or maybe a pattern that you decide to cast on. I have 15 that I'm featuring plus a bonus one at the end. That I really couldn't fit into any particular category. Now I will say that I do have categories for the different patterns I have included in this, and that includes vests or sleeveless pullovers, slipovers I guess they're called, cardigans, and then pullovers, and then I have 2 accessories and then the bonus pattern. But I do encourage you to stick around because I have a little bit of a surprise later in this episode. So let's go ahead and get started, and we will start with the vest portion of the patterns. And I'm going to be putting all pictures up here on the side. I should scoot over a bit so that you can see them as I talk about them. And I'm also going to list everything down below. There will be a link to a Ravelry bundle. Every time I do videos like this, I have people complain that I don't link to the patterns. I do. I'll use one link. It'll take you right to the bundle. That's the one to use because not only do I have the 15 plus the bonus, so 16 patterns there in that bundle on Ravelry, I have, I think, 35 or 36 patterns in total that I found would make good transitional pieces. However, I don't have the time to sit here. I don't think you'd want to listen to me sit here and go through 35, 36 patterns anyway. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I do want to say up front that the reason I chose these particular patterns is because they're patterns that I would want to knit. So you may not like all of these patterns, but these are ones that I would actually take the time to knit. I also was looking for patterns that would so I didn't pick anything super thick, let me put it that way, because that is not, and here in Pennsylvania in autumn, it can get pretty cold, and actually by the end of October, we oftentimes will get a little bit of snow, but I'm thinking like September, early October, I want some pieces that I can slip on that are going to keep me warm but not overheated. And so I thought about all of those things as I was researching and picking patterns for this episode. So let's go ahead and get started and let's talk about our first category of patterns, which are vest and slipovers. Okay, the first pattern that I chose is the Campus Vest by Amy Sure Makes. Now, I actually purchased this pattern the day she released it because I love the look of this vest. I actually had been at TJ Maxx. For those of you in America, I think it's like TK Maxx in the UK. I had been there the day prior and had tried on a vest that was very similar, like almost identical to this vest, with a pair of cropped jeans, and it was so adorable. But I was thinking I could really make this, and this vest at the store was made out of 100% acrylic, so I knew I already had the yarn at home, so I ended up buying that pattern. I knew she was going to be releasing it. I'm super excited to cast this one on. This pattern is a paid for. All of these patterns except for one are paid for patterns. This one is $10.50, and it calls for DK weight yarn and US size 5 and 6 needles. She used for her 2 examples, if you look on Ravelry, she used Harrisville Designs Daylights and also Durarum Natura Penelope. So I have not used either of those yarns, but I am curious about the Durare Natura. I think that might be a more palpable price point for a lot of us, more accessible, but I could also be wrong about that. This pattern comes with 10 sizes from 31 inch to a 60 and a quarter inch bust. And she writes this pattern with two different views, meaning there's two different ways that you can knit it. You can either do a cropped version that has a straight body, or you can do one that's a little bit longer and has some A-line shaping to accommodate the hips. It's knit from the bottom up. It's knit in one piece, and then the button band and the arm finishing is worked last. Why do I love this pattern? I love the classic look of it, and I love the V-neck. So I have some pullover vests, and I have some vests that are more like the crew neck, but I love the V-neck look of this. I actually, when I tried that vest on at TJ Maxx, I wore nothing under it. It was fine. It covered everything, and I really like the ability to do that. And I think this would be perfect for that, as well as wearing this over button-down shirts or long-sleeve t-shirts. And when I wear a button-down shirt, I like a vest that's a V-neck, because then you can see this and you can see the collar. It just looks really finished and tailored to me. Okay, the next pattern we have is the Hyacinth by Elizabeth Smith. This is an $8 pattern knitted with sport weight and using size US 5 and 6 needles. She includes 9 sizes for this pattern, from 31 inches to a 61.5 inch bust. And it is a seamless vest. It's knit with A-line shaping. It has eyelet details down towards the bottom hem, and it's meant to be worn open style, but she said you could put some sort of closure or buttons on it if you so desired. I really like that open look vest. I feel like that would just be really easy, comfy kind of a thing to throw on. You can knit it in either 1 or 2 colors. I mean, you could do more than that, but in her pattern, she says that, you know, you could just knit it in 1 color if you would like, or you could do the 2 colors like her sample, which I actually really love the colors that she uses in her sample. I love that pink and orange color together. It's just so pretty. And she also includes a tips page link in her pattern that takes you to tutorials for all the techniques that are used to make this particular vest. Now, as I said, I already like the openness of it. I think that would look really cute over a long sleeve t-shirt with a pair of jeans. Or also, if you have, I have this denim dress that has long sleeves and it's buttoned down the whole way. I feel like it would look really good over that. So, and if you look at the neck of it, it's not a straight neck. It kind of goes at an angle too, which I also really like. Riptide Slipover by JST Designs is the next pattern that I really like. And this is more of a typical slipover or vest like we think of when we just pull a vest over our head and call it done. This pattern is $9.50. It is knit using a DK weight yarn on size US 3 and 5 needles. The pattern includes 10 sizes from 33.5 inches to 60 and 1/4 inch bust sizes. It is knit in one piece, top down. You do knit the shoulders and the back flat, and then you join to knit in the round. That's how a lot of these patterns are knit. So that's pretty much just par for course. She gives options in this pattern for either a crew neck with or a V-neck, or you can do a straight body or waist shaping. And then she also gives an option for a split hem or just a regular hem. And she also states that it is worked with a deep armhole. So if you're going to be wearing this with nothing underneath it, you will want to consider that. I was thinking this would look awesome, again, over either a long sleeve t-shirt or a button down. So that's how I would wear this, because if you notice on the pattern or on the picture, there is a lace panel the whole way down the front as well as in the back, which she states that's very simple lace, nothing complicated there. It would be perfectly fine for a beginner who's new to lace knitting. But because of that lace panel, I would not just wear this anyway. I would have to wear a cami under it and I'm not really into layering in the summer. So this is not even a summer thing for me. This would definitely be a fall and winter thing. But it's really beautiful. I love that it has the lace and then it has the bit of a v-neck. I am a v-neck fan, if you haven't figured that out already in this episode. So for me, this is just definitely one of those vests that I would definitely want to knit. This next vest is absolutely gorgeous, as is everything that this particular designer makes. I feel like she has such a unique way of designing or showcasing colorwork motifs. And this is the Forest Keys vest by Tati Luksek. This pattern is $6.99. It is knit using fingering weight yarn, and it is knit on size US 2.5 and 4 needles. This is sized a little bit differently. There are 5 sizes ranging from 29-inch bust to 61-inch bust. But in that big range, that's divided up into 5 different sections. So each section has a pretty large bust range. And so you pick your size depending on where your bust measurement lies within those ranges. This is meant to be a boxy and oversized vest. It is knit top down. All of the edges have applied I-cord, and there's 3 different types of color work that you will do in this. So this may be a little bit more of a challenging knit to take on, but it's not a really big project, so that's probably good. But in this, you will do flat stranded color work, in the round color work, and then intarsia. And I have never done intarsia before, never. I'm very intimidated by it, but I probably shouldn't be. It's probably just really simple. So this would be a good pattern for me to give the intarsia a shot. So the spiky tree-like elements on the motif are from traditional Ukrainian embroidery, and it's just so, this is such a beautiful vest, and I think it would just look gorgeous worn over a long sleeve tee, or if you had the right kind of a dress worn over that. She is wearing it over like a very dainty floral printed dress. I think that looks really great. Just very interesting looking pattern. Okay, we're getting into the next section now, which is the cardigan section. And this first one that I want to talk about is called the Gloam. It is by Caitlin Hunter, and I have actually knit this one. I knit it last summer. I have it here with me, and I absolutely love this. I'm not a huge Caitlin Hunter fan. I have knit multiple of her patterns, and this is the first one that I have actually liked the fit of. So I'm not dogging her, I'm just saying, and I've heard from other people that the sizing and the styling of her, like, I think a lot of it is the colorwork patterns are very challenging for a lot of people and their bodies, but this one, and it's probably because it's so oversized, I absolutely love this, and I wear it frequently. So this, like I said, is the Gloam. It is knit in DK weight yarn on size US 4 and 5. And as you can see, it has this motif. This is the back. This is the front. So the panels, there we go. You knit this in pieces. So you knit the back piece and then the 2 front pieces. And all of that beautiful texture is achieved using just knit and purls, which there is a chart that you follow for that. So you do need to read a chart. And then you seam the shoulders together and you seam the sides together. And then you pick up stitches and you knit your sleeves, which goes super fast. And then you go back and knit your neckline and your band, the band that goes the whole way around, which you need a really long cable for that. Just keep that in mind. And it is just a beautiful sweater. I will try to remember to actually put this on and show a video here next to here of me wearing this, because I really like it. I wear it over button downs. I wear it over long sleeve t-shirts. You could wear this, basically you could wear it over anything. And it's so roomy and boxy. I knit this out of Juniper Moon Farms in their Patagonia, which is 100% organic merino wool. And this color is called Acorn. So yeah, love this pattern. What size did I knit? I knit, let me see, I have my little show notes here. I don't know that I wrote down, oh, I knitted a size 2. So I cast it on the size 2. And it's definitely oversized, but it's meant to be. Next up is the Rosa Cardigan by Along avec Anna. This is a $7.60 pattern, and it is created using DK weight yarn. She uses a fingering plus a lace, but you can just use a DK weight if you don't want to have the mohair in there. It uses size US 4 and 6 needles. It comes in 18 different sizes, from 31 inch to 64.5 inch bust. And it is one of those cardigans that it's not meant to be worn with a lot of positive ease. In fact, she recommends 0 to 2 inches of positive ease. And I kind of like that about that. Normally, I'm not a negative ease girl. Like, I don't knit stuff that is negative ease. And I like a little bit more positive ease, not too much, but there's a sweet spot for me. And I think that's usually like 4 to 5 inches of positive ease. So this is way less positive ease than what I'm used to, but I don't have anything like this in my closet. So I think it would be very beneficial to have a sweater like this that is more fitted. And it is cropped. It has a lace raglan that really reminds me of the Felix cardigan lace raglan. It looks very similar to me. The thing that's different about this one, and I've knit the Felix cardigan and the pullover, and I love that pattern. The thing with that one is it's a crew neck, and so it kind of like gets a little awkward up here when I'm wearing it, and I don't really button it. So it gets a little awkward, but this Rosa cardigan has a V-neck. It has V-neck shaping, which I think would be nicer for just, you know, I just think I would probably like that style better than the crew neck. So it's knit top down, and yeah, I like the lace raglan. I like that a lot about the Felix pullover and cardigan. I think it takes a simple pattern and it elevates it, and then I really like the fact that it's a V-neck. Okay, our last cardigan that I want to talk about is called the Daft Days cardigan, and this is a pattern by Rebecca Clow. It's a $10 pattern. It's knit using DK weight yarn on size US 3 and 5 needles. It comes in 10 sizes, from 34.25 inch to 69.5 inch. It is an all over textured cardigan, and it's worked from the bottom up, and she wrote this pattern using mosaic knitting, which is slipping stitches to get the color work motifs. And so because this is a cardigan, you are working this flat. You can use as many different colors as you want. I actually really like the one sample that she shows that I will probably already have up here. It's like an off-white color with many different color stripes. I think that's really beautiful, and then all the different colors in the yarn for the stripes makes it pretty versatile with what you could wear it with. And it is meant to be used, or to be knitted, to have 4 to 8 inches of positive ease. This is a really beautiful sweater that I've actually had in my favorites for a while. So will I cast this on? I'm not sure, but I'd really like to. Okay, we're moving on to the pullover section of this episode. And the first pullover that I want to talk about is the Anita Sweater by Alexander Solowanyuk. This is a $10.36 pattern, knit in DK weight yarn on a size US 7. She just gave one size, so I guess we're not going down in size for our finishing. There are 8 sizes from extra small to 4X. It is a top-down raglan that has an all-over lace pattern. It's crew neck. It has the dainty picot neck edging, and the puff sleeves are so beautiful. I love puff sleeves. I will often turn regular sleeves into puff sleeves when I'm knitting a sweater pattern, because I do love them so much. The thing that I love about this sweater is that it is knit with that all over lace, and I don't know that I would wear all over lace in the winter, you know, when it's really cold out, but in the autumn when it's more chilly than freezing cold, I think this would be a nice transitional piece because of that. It has some openness, you know, you just wear like a cami underneath and you're good to go. This next pattern is by Samantha Guerin. It is called Fall Frolic, and it is a colorwork yoke sweater that is knit with fingering weight yarn on size 3, 4, and 6 needles. Has 9 sizes from 32 inches to a 64 inch bust, and it is knit seamlessly from the top down there is short row shaping, and the color work is actually stranded. I wasn't sure if it was like slip stitch mosaic until I looked into this pattern a little bit more, but it is stranded color work. This sweater is meant to be worn with 2 to 4 inches of positive ease, and I was looking at this and I was thinking that this would make a really good, I think that the Pearl Soho linen quill would be great. I mean, I'm just assuming this is my opinion, but I think this would be great for this particular pattern. The thing with the linen quill is a lot of people use that in summer garments, but it actually has such a small amount of linen, and it's mostly, here, I have a skein of it right here, so let me see. So it is 50% Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and only 15% linen. So it's actually not that great of a summer yarn, but for a sweater like this one, I think it would make a fantastic match for that. And you would just need very small amounts, of course, for the color work yoke. This next pattern is so much fun with these stripes. This is the Stripe Hype Sweater by Veronica Lindbergh. I'm sure that you guys have all seen this or heard of it, or most of you anyway. This is an $8 pattern. It is knit with DK weight yarn, which is the Sandusgarn Double Sunday, which I think has gotten pretty easy to source that here in the United States at least, and I'm pretty sure it's very easy to find in the European countries. You use a size US 2.5 and 6 needle to make this sweater, and it comes in 9 sizes from extra small to 5XL. You start by working the front and the back flat, and then you join in the round, probably under the arms, and then it's knit in the round the rest of the way. You need 1 base color and at least 5 coordinating colors to do it the way that she actually knitted it. But you don't have to do it that way. You can do it however you want, as many colors as you want or as little colors as you want. And this does have a drop shoulder, which I really like the look of drop shoulder sweaters, which so between that and the stripes, I think this would probably be a really fun sweater to knit. And you know, one of the things with knitting stripes is that you just can't wait to get to the next stripe. And so I think that makes us knit faster, or maybe it just makes us persevere through a project. Okay. Now we move on to the accessories. I only have 2 accessories that I'm including in this podcast episode, but these are both bandana style shawls with the potential to be larger if you want them to be larger. The first one is actually a free pattern, and this is by Lamb & Kid Designs. This is called the Popple Bandana. It is knit using 345 yards of fingering weight yarn if you knit it to the size that they have in the pattern. You use US 6, so it's going to be an open airy gauge, which I think will be nice. The size and the fact that it's going to be an open gauge would make it a nice fall transitional piece. And you use slip stitches to get that little color work detail there. Finished pattern as it is written is a 52-inch wingspan, and it's about 13 inches deep, and this is a triangular shaped shawl. I'm actually really excited about this pattern, and I'm already thinking about yarn combinations so that I can knit this. The last shawl that I want to talk about is a pattern by Sari Nordland, and this is called the Beach Day Shawl. This pattern is $5.71. It is knit in DK. She uses the knitting for olive merino and the soft silk mohair held double. You wouldn't have to do that, of course, if you don't like the mohair. Mohair definitely ups the warmth factor. It's knit on size US 6 needles, and you use 246 yards each of both of those, the mohair and the fingering weight yarn, the knitting for olive merino. You can change the size of this by changing the number of chart repeats that you do. It is triangular shaped, and it's a simple lace pattern that looks like the waves and seashells at the beach, hence the name. Okay, this last pattern is a bonus pattern because it doesn't fit into exclusively the knitting or the crocheting category. Not that I even talked about any crocheting, but it is a combination of both crafts, which is amazing. And it is the Jethro by Tanis Fiber Arts. $9 pattern. Look at this beauty. I've seen several knitters posting about this on Instagram. I love granny squares so much. How fun would it be to wear a granny square sweater? So I wanted to put this on here because I don't know that you all knit and crochet both, but if you do, this looks super fun. It is knit with DK weight yarn on size US 4 and 6, and then you use a size F hook when you're doing the granny squares. This cardigan is meant to be worn with lots of positive ease. She even says that because the granny squares are crocheted, she said it is harder to control the sizing, but she said the more oversized, the better, basically, is what she said in the pattern. I think 12 to 17 inches of positive ease is what she suggests, which is a lot of positive ease. There's no shaping in it, there's no shoulder shaping. It does have a bit of a drop shoulder look to it. And it's basically one of those cardigans that you just keep by your door and you throw on as you go out. It's so fun looking though. She does say that she has a link actually I think it was on Ravelry itself. If you need the tutorials for any of the techniques used in the pattern, she has a playlist on YouTube with all of those video tutorials on there. Okay, now if you stuck around to the end, I have a little bit of a surprise for you. So I just featured these beautiful patterns, and I know some of them can be kind of pricey. Like some of them were $10. I think the most was $10.50. And I know that can be a hard thing for some people to pull the trigger on, especially if you're only going to make the pattern one time and it can be challenging. So I want to actually give away a pattern to one of you. So all you need to do to be eligible to win for that is to please be a subscriber to my channel. I would prefer that, please. Give this video a like, a thumbs up, and then leave a comment down below telling me what your favorite pattern was that I featured on here. You can also, if you go to the bundle and you find one there that you like better than any I've mentioned, you can also, comment that one as well. And then when I draw the winner, I will be randomly drawing one winner, and that winner will be able to choose one of these patterns or one of the ones on the bundle, and I will gift that to them through Ravelry. Okay, so go grab your yarn and your knitting needles and get started on your cozy fall knitting. I really hope you found a pattern that you liked and that has inspired you to start your fall knitting, because it is arriving here for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. So yes, we need to get on top of that. And thank you guys so much for watching and for joining along with me on this episode, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.